Dear students, today I will introduce to you one of the most important concept of the mathematical physics, that is calculus. So our today topic will be calculus. So what is calculus? So first of all, you should know that what is the meaning of calculus. So for this, first of all, I will relate it with your previous knowledge that have you studied in your elementary classes about geometry and trigonometry. Now you all know that geometry is the study of shapes, and you also know that trigonometry is the study of triangles. Similarly, this calculus is the branch of mathematics which deals with the study of change. So what is calculus? So basically calculus is the study of change. So now let me take few examples to show you that what I supposed to mean by the word change. So for this, first of all, consider the first example. Suppose you have an object at a height h above the ground. Suppose this AB is the ground and you have object O which is at height h above the ground. Now as you drop this object from point C, suppose this object O is at point C, then you will find that its velocity will increase continuously and finally it will hit the ground. So suppose if I want to find out the velocity of this object at any instant t, suppose I want to find out the velocity of this object at any instant t, then you will find that there is no mathematical tool that will give me the instantaneous velocity of this object O at any instant t during its motion from point C to the ground AB. So the answer of this problem lies in the calculus. So this is one of the application of calculus in real life. So whenever you have some object that is moving with a variable velocity, so to find the instantaneous velocity of that object, you have to use calculus. I will give you its detailed study in my next lectures, but this is just the overview to you about the power of calculus. Now let us take another example of the calculus. Now I have this ball. Now this is a spherical ball. So if this is a spherical ball and suppose its radius is r, then what will be its volume? So you know that the volume of this ball will be 4 by 3 pi r cube. So this formula gives us the volume of this spherical ball. Now suppose if I puncture this ball, now what will happen when I puncture this ball? When I puncture this ball, the air inside the ball will come outside and you will find that its volume and radius will start decreasing. So now how these changing quantities are related to each other? What is the formula for this change? How the volume of this spherical ball is related to its radius when I puncture this? So again you will find that in your next lectures I will show you that, or in your detailed mathematical course you will find that the answer of this problem also lies within the calculus. So I have given you two examples in which I have tried to give you a understanding that how that changing quantities can be studied by using calculus. So students, now in order to tackle the problem of changing quantities, the calculus uses three important tools or three powerful tools. The first tool of calculus is limit. The second tool of calculus is differentiation. And the third tool of calculus is integration. So students, these are the three powerful tools that calculus use to tackle the problem of changing quantities. Now, today I will discuss only with you with only one tool, that is limit. So limit is the central idea of calculus. Basically, the development of calculus arose from the limits. So what is a limit? So to introduce you to the limit, let us consider one important paradox that is known as Zeno's paradox. Zeno paradox. Zeno. So what is Zeno paradox? So student, listen it very carefully because it will give you a very deep understanding of the concept of limit. So what is Zeno paradox? So suppose you are sitting in a room. Suppose this is your floor of your room, and you are sitting at this point A, and at point B there is a wall of the room. Now suppose the distance between A to B is, let us suppose it is 2 meters. The distance from A to point B is 2 meters. Now, according to Zeno's paradox, if you will walk towards wall, if you will walk from point A towards the wall, you will never touch it. This is Zeno paradox. So how? Listen again. What does Zeno paradox say? Zeno paradox says that suppose you are in a room and the wall of the room is at a distance 2 meters from you, and when you will move from point A to point B towards the wall, you will never touch it. So how it is possible? So student, please listen very carefully. Suppose this distance is 2 meters. Now when you will move from point A to point B, first at some instant you will be at point C, which is exactly halfway between A and B. So it means, first of all, you have to reach the point A. So it means, first of all, you have to get halfway, and then from C to, and what is this point C? This point C is at 1 meter from A. This is at 1 meter from A as well as 1 meter from B. Now to cover the remaining distance, that is 1 meter, again you have to reach the halfway, that is point D. Now this point D will be 0.5 meter from C, or you can say it is at a distance of 0.5 meter from B also. So students, you can see that your remaining distance can always be split in half infinitely many times, because now first of all this distance of 2 meter is split into two parts, two halves. Then the remaining distance is again split into two halves. Then the remaining distance can again be split into two halves. So this means that your remaining distance can always be split into infinitely many halves. So you have to add infinite, so you have to sum the infinite distance. So it means that you will never reach this goal. So this is Zeno paradox. But in actually, you know that you touch the wall. So here is the central meaning of limit. Basically, what is a limit? Limit means when you do something infinitely many times, you will get a finite answer that is very useful. Because in this case that I have considered, the case of the wall that is at a distance of 2 meters, so you are adding the half and half distance infinitely times. You are adding one, again half of that, again half of that, again half of that, and you are adding it infinitely many times. But students, you can clearly see that although you are adding the infinite terms, but your sum will never be greater than 2. Your sum will never exceed 2. never exceed the distance from A to B, that is 2. So this is the central idea of limit. It means it is possible that you do something infinitely many times and get a finite answer. You can see that I am adding this infinite series, but I am getting a finite answer that is not greater than 2. So this is the central theme of the concept of limit, and that is the central idea of calculus as well. So I think that you are getting some little bit of understanding of the concept of limit. So here are few things that you should remember in case of limits. So what are that things? So students, limits are used to describe the value of a function it is approaching. Remember this, it is always used to describe the value of a function that it is approaching, and they are not used to describe the value function actually reaches. This is very important statement. So what it means, I will explain it to you with also one example. Now suppose you have a function fx is equal to x square minus 4 upon x minus 2. So let me evaluate the value of this function as your x approaches to 2. So as my x approaches to 2, x fx. Suppose 1 by x is 1.9, 1 by x is 1.99, and 1 by x is 1.999. So I will evaluate the value of this function when x is approaching 2. So if you put the value of x is equal to 1.9, you will find that x will be approximately equal to 3.9. Now if you will put the value of x is equal to 1.99, you will find that your fx will be 3.99, and when you substitute x is equal to 1.999, you will find that your fx will be 3.999. So student, from this you can clearly see that when your x is approaching 2, your function is approaching the value of 4. So we can say that limit x tends to 2 of fx, or in case of fx I can write the function x square minus 4 upon x minus 2. This function approaches the value of 4, or we can say it is equal to 4. Now what I am saying now, please listen very carefully. Now suppose this is for the value that function is approaching when x is approaching 2. Now if I put directly the value of x equal to 2 in this function, then you will find that your fx will be undefined, because when you will put x equal to 2 here, you will get fx is equal to 2 square minus 4 upon 2 minus 2, which is equal to 0 upon 0. So your function is undefined. So it means at x is equal to 2, the function is undefined. It means it will never approach 4. So this is the main idea behind the limit. So my main motive to give you this example is again highlight the fact that limit focus on the behavior of a function or the value that they get arbitrarily close to when your x approaches a particular value. It is not the value that it reaches, it is the value that x approaches. So students, keep this thing in mind. So I think that you are now familiar with the physical meaning of calculus, that calculus is a branch of mathematics that is dealing with the study of change. I have given you two examples. One is of the height, that object falling from a height h above the ground. You cannot find its instantaneous velocity by using any other technique except calculus. Similarly, to find the volume of a balloon when its volume, or you can say its radius is decreasing, you have to go to calculus. The answer lies in calculus. So the central idea of calculus, or the central theme of the calculus, is limit. So I have also given you the brief introduction about the limit. So limit means to find the value of a function when the what the value of the function it approaches. It is the value that the function will approach. So student, with this much of your basic understanding, so next operations of this calculus, that is differentiation and integration, that will be the major focal point of our study. I will discuss in next lecture. So till then you have a clear understanding of these concepts. So thank you.